Let's go ahead and get started here. If a vampire turns into a vampire, do they become blood related? I almost feel like there's something like that. I'm not sure. Most of the time, if we're talking like the old, legends or whatever you want to call the old superstition, I think it was mostly vampires would create would like lead women off or something like that, the young women off. Yeah, I don't know, it might be something like that. Kind of an interest. You could almost do something kind of interesting with that. Actually, I'm gonna warm up. I technically did do a little bit of drawing earlier today, but not much. Just some doodling. So like werewolves become vampires when killed. Really? I've never heard that. What up, Trippy? Good to see you. Old Balkan superstitious one because most vampire can be soon. I heard stuff like that. It's interesting how that trope pops up in different cultures. Or I guess not trope, but consistency. Makes sense though. Yeah, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'd never heard of that. I need to think of what I need to do in order to warm up. I'm probably gonna draw some arms or something like that. I've been neglecting arms. Yeah, quick doodle of the face. Get that in my mind. So you can put a rice piles. Yeah, I've heard that one. At that point, it'll turn to dust. Yeah. Now I had heard of Chinese vampires. They jump. Yeah, I'd never heard that it was based on rigor mortis. That's interesting. I remember the first time I saw reference to that was actually in some people might know it as Takeshi's Castle, which was a Japanese game show, it's Takeshi's Castle, but over here in America it was it was basically taken and redubbed and turned into kind of its own thing called MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenges. and there was a Halloween episode where like a bunch of people were dressed up, and one of like three of them for like one of the challenges was they were dressed up as these hopping vampires that looked, you know, it's completely out of context, right? There's no like no one explaining what in the world we're looking at, so we just we just see, you know, these people dressed up hopping towards the objective. MXC is great. Man, it is so funny. Only common feature across time, across culture. Huh. I mean, technically, probably there. I don't know. Do you need to bless the steam? How does that work? If you bless ice, does it turn into holy water when it melts? I find it really funny that the stereotypical vampire accent, which of course is based on Bela Lugosi, and him being a Hungarian actor means that the stereotypical accent is a Hungarian accent. Let me see. What do I want to do? Did I see the strain on FX? No, I haven't. I think I might have heard of it, but Hungarian isn't too far off from Vlad the Impaler. Whatever. That's true. I can't. What? Let's see. Because Vlad the Impaler himself wasn't even Transylvanian or Romanian or anything like that, right? He was. It's because it was Vladimir. It was. What was he? Wallachian? Wallachia? Okay. Interesting take on vampires. Nosferatu? Yes. Nosferatu. I love Nosferatu. That's an awesome film. And the idea of the Nosferatu is really cool as well. Wallachia, yeah. He was Romanian? Okay, so, okay, yeah. Which is modern day. Okay. It's Vlad the Impaler, yeah. Yeah, which is where Dracula, isn't it Dragula? Basically meaning dragon. Stream little girl. Yeah. Alright, I'm just warming up right now. We'll get to the art here soon enough. I just want to make sure I'm warmed up here. I was feeling a bit stiff the other little bit ago. I don't know what was up. First couple seasons are good. Yeah, that tends to be the case for a lot of shows. I noticed that like I try not to judge a show based on like first season. A lot of times I've seen shows that like you know, their first season isn't the strongest, and it takes them a little bit to get their legs under them. That tends to happen. That tends to happen. Which later formed Romania. Interesting. Yeah, no, that's. Let's see. Was he 14th century or was he later? No, he was later, wasn't he? He was like 16. But I can't remember. It's been way too long. Huh. Read the Ashtown's Burials. Needed something more chill to watch while I was sick, so I joined the stream Redoubt Productions. Oh, you left. That's good. Well, I aim for chill. I like chill. Chill's fun. 1859, Wallachia united with Moldavia to form the United Principalities, adopted the name Romania. Romania in 1881. Isn't Moldavia still around? I feel like there's something with that name still around. Following the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the resolution of the elected representatives of Romanians in 1918, Bukovina, Transylvania, and Pristina, Maramuras were allocated to Kingdom of Romania, thereby around, yeah, okay. Thereby forming their modern Romanian state. Moldavia still exists. I see. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny because I saw my brother a little while back posted. Okay, I think I'm warmed up. Posted a little short film by that was produced by Moldavia. It was a Moldavian production, or Moldova, whatever it is. See the weather just now getting back to the digital restart started this morning. Yeah, weather is it's starting to kind of kick off, so it'll be interesting come Thursday for us up here. Chances are I'm going to get Friday off, but we'll see. Just depends on how the weather goes. It was called what was it, Basil and the Dragon? No. Was it Basil and the Dragon? I can't remember. It was really good. It was very fun. It was neat because of course it's based on a traditional story, I'm pretty sure. Animated by, I think, a French studio. From what I could tell. By looking into it a bit. Think straight snow over the wind after what we endured today, yeah. Well, straight snow is exactly what we're expecting. A good amount of it coming here. I'm kind of doing this wrong. It's not that big. Kinda has narrow eyes. Something a bit more subtle. Actually, I need to reference the previous page. Yeah, actually about right. Yeah. Gonna listen while you write? Nice. Never mind. I've got to get back into writing. I've been reading a lot, which has helped, but I need to do more writing. Oh, these are sharper than that. How did I? Trying to make your story decent, aren't we all? Isn't that always the goal? Let's see here. Writing's a lot of work, but I miss it. Nah, that's not how that works. But let's see what we can do here. Nice. What am I working on? I'm working on the next page. I need to do the panels, I just realized. Just two more. So there's this one and then, actually not that one. This one. Oh. and then we'll be done with line work, at least for now. As in, like, 1 in 3? Like, they've tried it 3 times and they've only gotten 1 out of 3, or? I need to do the panels once. Okay. Oops. Tried 4 times, 1 partial success, 3 failures. Yeah, that sounds about right. Wasn't there some kind of crazy thing that was happening on the International Space Station regarding the Russian portion of it or something? Always the second half of history. Yeah, because things only got better for the Soviet Union. It was the Russian degree and rejected part of its ISS. That's right, yeah. Got the details. Yeah, same here. How... I want to do this. Alright, keep it like that. Yeah, there's a lot. There's both a lot going on with space travel and not. Like, they're trying to make all these things happen, but it's just like, man, like technically, weren't we supposed to, was it by 2025 we're supposed to go back to the moon, or was it like earlier? Or was it this year? SpaceX is making strides while NASA flounders. Yeah, so then NASA is delaying it to 2025. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to do that, and I don't know. I mean, I'll say the moon is more realistic than Mars, that's for sure. Filling with the Orion craft for over a decade now. That doesn't surprise me. That's not how hair works. Honestly, I don't really care for that. Yeah. Okay. So the poncho is pulled up, exposed. That's why her back's exposed in the previous frame. And yeah. So what that means is that it's gonna go across like that into here, and I have to draw another freaking hand. Of course I do. Dude, it took me so long to try this hand, and I'm only like mildly okay with this hand, to be honest. It's all right. I don't know. I might take another swing at that hand down the line, but we'll see. I'm going to be taking a break from the comic for at least a couple weeks coming up here after the line work is done to work on some other things I've been really wanting to work on. Probably including a new animated project once I get done with the Grem animation I was working on. Just sort of a prototype. I really want to do kind of it's another kind of microfilm, because I don't have time to do a full-blown short film right now. I also need to do that Detective Mothman intro, but that's going to be a lot of work. Maybe I'll do that after. Basically, what I'm thinking of doing is, rather than working straight on the comic all the time, basically neglecting everything else, I'm thinking of bouncing between every week, work on the comic, work off the comic, and try to be a bit more productive on those weeks on. I feel like that'll help me not burn out horribly. It's very hard, though. Drawing is hard, but it's worth it. Key is just, especially if you're starting out, like, figure out like what you want to draw, and just draw it. Draw it terribly, and then as you become familiar with just the process of sitting down and drawing, that's when you start to introduce principles of gesture drawing, figure drawing, perspective, still life, drawing people, if it is people that you want to draw. But learning the functional principles of visual art. But if you try to jump too soon into those, that's a really good way to kind of burn out. you have to kind of kindle. It's like building a fire, right? You have to kind of kindle it first. If you're expecting a great big flame immediately, then yeah, well, don't. That's not how it works, right? Fires are warm, explosions are bad. But once you have the flame kind of going, then you can start putting bigger things on. Able to replicate it. That's the other kind of key. So if you're kind of at that point where you're beginning to kind of realize that like you've hit that next stage, right? And now you're experiencing the what's called the paradigm shift, then that's when it's time to hit the books and kind of study and do studies and try to figure out refinement. And spoiler alert, stuff like what you just described is going to happen a whole lot, so get used to it. It's kind of interesting, though, because when it comes to the paradigm shift, it's good to try to work yourself into a mentality that it's like, okay, this is a good thing. It's a good thing that I am becoming more critical of my art, right? It's a good thing that I am... It's not easy. It's not straightforward. Because what that means is it doesn't mean that you're getting worse. It means you're getting better. But better in a very specific way. Your eye is trained more, but your hand is having a hard time keeping up. It's kind of ironic when you're doing your best work, or what you think is your best work, is when you have the hardest time recognizing your mistakes. That's why you're happy with it. Honestly, I kind of need... That's another thing I really want to do is... I feel like my technical ability has been in a rut for a long time. I think that I need to kind of reclaim certain things in terms of just fundamental ability that I've been neglecting. Oh. Can't draw one for the life of me. Mouth. Are you talking open mouth or closed mouth? Are you talking lips, or are you talking inside of the mouth? Because mouths can be tricky. Part of the reason why I'm so minimalist with them. Close is what I'm mainly going for. When it comes to mouths, I mean, let me think here. So you have the nose, right? And then, of course, you have the little, I think it's called an isthmus or something like that underneath your nose, or that might be something else. And when it comes to lips, this is a terrible nose, but I draw noses like that. If I can draw a nose, that'd be great. When it comes to the actual mouths themselves, so of course the stereotypical line, if you will, is you have the the pursing, and then things kind of go out, right? That looks like all right. And then, of course, you have the lower lip. And if we were to like really push it as far as we could, right, the kind of cartoonish sort of trail is that, right? It works, but essentially what you want to start thinking is, rather than, you don't want to think of objects or attributes, especially on like the face, for example, as being a series of lines necessarily. You don't necessarily want to think in terms of like static, right? Symbols is the term I'm looking for. You want to think in terms of light. So when light strikes a line or crease or something like that, it's creating this portrayal, this kind of contrast, right? A line is a contrast. It's light. And so what you want to kind of go for is, you'll notice one side of the kind of lip part up here is more highlighted than the other, because that's how shadows work. You have a light side, you have a dark side. And in straight lighting, or rather, like, there's always going to be some kind of canter to the lighting for the most part. One side is going to have more of a shadow than the other, so you can use that to your advantage. Same thing goes with the bottom lip. You'll notice that it's very minimalist. Don't regard the nose. The nose is just there for simplicity's sake. And so it's just an impression, right? Because as the lip comes out, it's that divot is what we're kind of going for. That's the contrast that we're trying to kind of focus on, right? That's the line where the line really shows up. Well, that disappears on the edges of the mouth. That's no longer really a thing as much anymore. And then, of course, depending on how old the person is, that's why the mouth and the parts around the mouth are really important when it comes to like showing the age of someone, because then that's where a lot of specific features begin to show up. What up, Telgega? Telgega. Or Gega? Is it Gega or Gega? Either way, Tel, good to see you. I can at least pronounce that. Honestly, this would probably be good. For the open mouth, I haven't drawn an open mouth in a while. The thing to think about with the open mouth is you got to remember that the teeth are connected to the skull, right? So what that means is that, so it's easy enough to just like slap some teeth in there and blah 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 blah. But this doesn't make any sense. Those are ugly teeth, because the skull is pivoting. So what we would actually see, because the mouth is open so wide, is something more along the lines of this, where now we actually see the bottom of the teeth as well. And again, teeth aren't a line. Teeth are many lines. Teeth are many contrasts, focusing all the way across. This person has like way too many teeth, by the way, but we're just gonna go with it. And then we can, and again, we can't be super. Oh jeez. This. Rhymes with mega. Okay. Yeah, good. Got it. And then, of course, the lower jaws, same thing. We're going to see the teeth go back into the mouth as opposed to just around. got that kind of semicircle going on. And then for a side, just as a real quick, because this is actually good practice for me, because I need to remember this stuff as well. The shape, we have a slight jut, right? And I will say there's something inherently challenging about side profiles, just naturally. They're one of the last things I really kind of, well, not last thing, but it took me a long time to figure them out. And then of course you have that divot, right? And maybe this is a real strong jaw or something like that. It's not so small. Maybe. That looks more like he has a mustache now. But that's actually one of the reasons I really like. I just realized I had a drawing on this page. One of the reasons I recommend picking a painting or studying painting principles as well, even if you're just looking to draw, is because give me a second. Those ideas of light and shadow and contrast and all that are more brought forward with stuff like painting. That's what you're really basing it off of, right? Is the different values of things, how light and how dark something is. I want and that will help you understand, really help me to understand what you're actually really trying to do with your penciling, or your inking, as opposed to just being like, well, a mouth is a line, I'm gonna put a line down, right? No, you're using lines to imply certain things. Now, if only I could actually use my own advice. Man, I'd be a friggin' legend if I could actually, like, take any of my own advice. I think the water's down below, which is nice. I don't have to draw that. This gets really sloppy. This is really crazy. Grams per arm, right hand. Okay. What's really interesting, so most things I would say, in terms of drawing, you almost want to think reductionist, in terms of like how much you put there, right? Like for a mouth, right? It's a very small part. It doesn't catch a lot of light. Therefore, like you can get away with not putting a lot there, right? If that makes sense. But hands are kind of the antithesis of that because they are such complicated objects. They're like they have so much to them that you can't. You unless it's really far away or in really flat lighting or something like that. Hands create such intricate shadows onto themselves. Even just looking at the surface with the tendons and the knuckles and things like that, and the wrinkles, everything about them. There's so much going on there. What makes them a challenge is you have to draw them out. There's no real shortcut. There's no symbol that you can really rely on with a hand unless you're doing very stylized stuff. Then yeah, you can do whatever. 1, 2, 3. But the stylization on this project is actually surprisingly minimalist. Or surprisingly minimal, rather. Minimal style, but... That's it. No. That's one thing to also kind of be aware of and try to avoid is, so this is what you call a tangent. Basically all a tangent is when, let's say you have two lines intersecting at a cross point, right, on a corner. In this case, there's actually 3 lines. You have this line, and then you have this line, right, and then this line coming in. Basically what that does is it flattens your object, like, for basic, which is basically her arm, right, and her cloak, or poncho. And what that does is it doesn't allow for readability to take place. It makes it so that it looks like it's on the same plane as the wrist, which I don't want it behind the wrist. So you want to be aware of that. You want to try to avoid that. There are exceptions to that where I've seen styles actually utilize tangents in a really interesting way that creates this flattening effect. You see it in Celtic artwork, actually, or specifically Irish artwork, a bit, and it's very cool. But it's something I do want to explore more, but I just haven't really. I'll do the detailing there later. Now, one thing I've been really struggling with on this particular project is getting. Hold on, there's just here. Chest here, hips here. Yeah, so you're gonna see the bottom. I can't quite get the depth I want on her sash. Thank you. It's coming along. I was really hoping to have these pages done last month, but that's not how it worked out. And that should work. Other legs behind there. No. Comes out a bit more. It's not quite there. Something like that. Let's go and throw up the arm. And let's. So this is about where the elbow is. That means that this would be kind of like that. This would be like that. I don't really want to do that. Put some more behind it. Or, better yet, actually, because she's being pulled back, that would actually... fold it out. What is supposed to be happening? Or what is this supposed to be? Well, this is the previous page. Let you take a look at it. And then this is the next page. Let your imaginations run wild. You're not going to know the story until it comes out. Which will hopefully not be too long. Well, it will probably be maybe another couple months. Jeez, really? Yeah. Well, yeah. It might be a little while. I didn't even think about that. Well, depends on how fast they can get the color done. Actually, I like. What's your arm? And elbow. That's a bizarre observation. Am I planning to put it up print? Yes, at some point. I'm still kind of going back and forth as to whether or not I should print just the chapters themselves, because like if I do that, then I would have to like do that at the same time that I'm doing the final book, and that could be kind of annoying for both the customer and myself. So what I'm thinking is can't see it well. Yeah, don't worry. But that's awful. Oh, that's not right. I'm gonna say her arm's actually up in the poncho. But so what I'm thinking, basically my plan is my plan is yeah, I know, right, Del? This is Nim, N-I-M-H by Slift. It's one of their newer songs. Slift freaking rocks. But I'm, good grief, how many times am I going to start the sentence? I'm thinking of basically once the book is done, doing a campaign to raise funds for doing the printing, essentially, right? And it'll be sort of a two-order kind of thing. I'm not expecting that much response because I've done a terrible job of promoting it. I need to do a lot more. But I know that there's at least a few people who are interested. Worst comes to worst, I can at least do like a small batch of prints, right? And maybe try to get in the future as well. So that's kind of the goal with it, but that means I have the rest of this chapter to do and then 3 more chapters to do. This is going to be the most, I think that this will be the most demanding chapter though. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. I'm going to try. I mean, I might as well throw my hat in. I'm freaking awful at promoting, but like I've got to figure it out at some point, you know? So I'm working towards that. I really want to work this year towards doing more in terms of like growing an audience. So get my like Ko-Fi going. I want to turn working on this comic into kind of like what they're doing with like games where it's like a devlog kind of thing, but it's about making comic, right? And just the story of making comic. The reason I haven't done that is because I don't know if I have very many things to say, but screw it, I'll say something. And I have other stuff I can talk about as well. So just stuff to promote it. I just really want to get it out there more and see if there's people interested. We'll see. The big problem though right now is that like the state of things, like social media and whatnot, promoting stuff is becoming challenging. It feels, and then I'm like, it's kind of crazy. It's like I'm already not like social media compatible, as it were. Because I don't really trend chase. I'm not out there like doing all the goofy little trends and stuff like that. Like, I don't really give a crap about doing that stuff. But at the same time, what that means is, oh, well, guess you're not going to get promoted by algorithm then. It's like, well, I don't really freaking care about that, but I do care about people who would like my work finding it. So figuring out ways to make that happen is going to be the real trick of the trade, quite literally. Okay. That's part of the reason, though, that it's free on my website is so that, like, because it's just who in the world is going to read it otherwise, right? I'm not going into a market that's already, like, there and craving it, like, you know, superheroes or something, right? This isn't a superhero story. There's a lot of room if you're making a superhero story, man. People want that stuff, right? They might not necessarily want a bizarre, out there, artistic kind of vision sort of story. At least they might not realize that they want it, right? Until they see it. Posting consistently FMC projects. But then I ran out of projects to promote. FMC. I don't think I know what FMC is. Keep forgetting to promote the stream so much. That's the other thing that I have a hard time doing is like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't know where I fit in terms of like everything, right? I don't know where my art belongs, basically. So, like, I feel like it's one of those cases where no one knows what to do with me. And alternatively, like, I don't find a whole lot of art that I think is like, oh, hey, this is the kind of thing I'm really into. That's what I, like, want to promote, right? There's a lot of neat projects out there that I'm not like super interested because it's just not my thing, right? Fund my comic, that's right. Stonecraft funding platform. Yeah, I took a look at Luke Stone. Yeah, found my comic a little bit. I don't know. There's certain things I like about it. There's certain things that I'm not crazy about, and part of it is like something I'm not terribly fond of, to be honest, is sort of the image that a lot of places are taking on, where it's sort of this us versus them kind of thing. Not because like it's like, oh, I don't like, or like, oh, like that's mean or whatever. But it's just I'm not interested. I don't care. I don't care what some corporate idiot is doing, you know, to a beloved franchise. Like, that's not my concern. My concern is art. Making art. Sharing art. And so it's neat that people are getting all inspired and everything like that to go out and make stuff, but I just feel like it's a mistake to turn it into this, like, sticking it to the man kind of thing, because now you're in a strange way it's this inverse promotion kind of thing. It just, I don't know, I don't care. And I've seen that a little bit in places like fund my comic and stuff like that. Not everything, but it's definitely there. It's just like, well, it's I don't know. It's the same feeling I get when I go into a platform like freaking Webtoons or something like that, and I look at what they're promoting, and I'm like, well, that's not what I'm going for. I don't care about that, right? I want a place where this just exists and you find it and you enjoy it, rather than it being tied to some banner, sometimes literally. And so that's why I kind of feel like I don't know where I necessarily belong in the grand scheme of things. Is that seems to be quite the pattern that shows up time and time again. Someone has some kind of rally that everyone gets around. I'm just like, I don't care. Old Doug cartoons, yeah. A lot of stuff is barely not. Yeah, exactly, there, Bruner. Yeah. Need to make stuff for the kids. Yeah, definitely. Well, doggone, man. Like, we just need to make honest things. That's what I think for sincerity. And I don't, to be honest, I don't see a lot of sincerity even in the sort of backhanded nature of a lot of stuff that comes out. It's like your entire existence hinges on the idea of sticking it to someone else. Like, okay, what is your value outside of that, right? That's the question you really need to ask yourself. Because now you're right back into the trap that got art where it is now, right? What's up, Guilty? Good to see you. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I miss the most in terms of artwork. It's something that I honestly don't think that with the whole advent of AI and stuff like that is going to be helped. My simple argument against AI is, okay, where's the sincerity? It naturally inclines you towards wanting fulfillment, right? Because you're abandoning craft. Yeah, yeah. Punk has become, ironically, very commercialized. You know, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. Is you can see it even in like. It's the simple kind of notion of popularity, right? When something becomes popular, you lose that sincerity for two reasons. One, because people are coming in because it's popular, right? Which isn't necessarily like inherently bad, but it is reductive. And then what is bad is that suddenly that becomes a resource and it can be exploited. And the cheaper you can do it, the better, right? Because that becomes the intention. So any kind of sense of sincerity is just gone. Any sort of craft becomes secondhand, right? Artists actually passionate about what they do become the enemy because, well, that'll get in the way. It doesn't go hand in hand. I still remember even 10 years ago, folks cried image editing and electronic illustration. Well, here's the thing. I actually agree with that. Now, you may be saying, well, hold on, wait a minute. Aren't you an electronic artist? Yes, I am. And the difficulties of being an electronic artist is you are constantly fighting the urge to take shortcuts that will reduce your craft. You actually have to fight against the nature of electronic tools to preserve that. That's what I've learned. So that being said, I don't inherently think, I do think that AI has the potential to actually produce tools that can be useful, right? In the same way that electronic and computers are in the same vein. But I can absolutely point to things that are digitally done that are in the same vein as AI in terms of the reduction of the craft. Certain conveniences that turn it into triviality, that make it rote, that make a machine. That's why I was never afraid of algorithms. I'm not afraid of algorithms. They're not going to replace me, because what they're replacing is where we've been shifting art for the last like 2 decades. We've been turning it into an industrialized machine. We've been turning humans into algorithmic machines that are cranking out artwork that all looks the same. It's all done the same. It's all the same theory. It's all the same technique. It's all the same process, right? Because that's convenient. And artists are coming in and being like, okay, that's what I'm going to learn because I want a job in art. That's the it's commercialization, right? Sketching, drawing, modeling, image editing, prompt writing. I cannot do it unless I take a good months at least. Well, you absolutely need to know what in the world you're looking at. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at AI imagery and said, this sucks. This looks terrible. It's over-rendered garbage. It looks like everything else. There's no artistry in this. And it's because people don't know what in the world they're looking at. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Make everything yourself. Yeah, sampling's another thing, right? Sampling can absolutely trivialize music, but I've heard things done with sampling that are interesting, right? It's execution. But where AI has been heading has been trying to trivialize it, been trying to kind of sell it to the masses and be like, hey, now everyone's an artist. It's like, well, no, that's not how it works. You have to build yourself up. It's anti-art. Made hand-drawn character portraits for INH artists for promotion stuff. Thought they looked pretty good. Oh, come on. It's the fault of the generator is not AI. It's exactly like the software you're using. I'm not against the tool. I just threw a low-effort user selling trash. Yeah. But I have yet to see AI actually impress me. In small glimpses, to some degree, yes. But in terms of like if you were to flash an image at me, I'll go, oh yeah, that looks interesting, right? But then I take a closer look, it's like, oh wait, no, this looks terrible, right? It doesn't last, and for me, I haven't seen anything that actually lasted. We're still on the first panel. Good grief. Sorry. Oh man. Like for example, there's a tool being developed right now that will help in handling in-betweens for animation, right? Or automatically coloring for animation, right? Things that can take a lot of time that don't necessarily need to. Great, that's awesome. Because what it's doing, you're not trivializing anything, you're speeding up the process, you're making it more convenient, right? The color choice and the design and everything like that is still crafted. In the same way, you know, me going with a paint bucket and going, okay, and filling in. If I were to take this paint bucket and fill in, let's just pretend it worked. It's like, great, that's awesome. That's very convenient. But I can guarantee you how many people have gone out there with a paint bucket and just started splashing paint over everything and called it a day. See that all the time. You have no sense of principality. You have no sense of, I don't even know if that's the right word, sense of structure to your art. Which you can. I'm not saying that that's impossible. Not at all. I learned all this crap. Wait. Okay, good. I learned all this crap. You can too. It's not insurmountable. Gonna edit it afterwards. See, my brother messed around with that, and what he found was he might as well just draw the darn thing. For all the effort that it was to get a half-baked sample that he could use as a basis, he's like, why am I doing it this way? Why would I ever do it this way? Well, and that's why I'm not afraid of it, their last name. Because I'm not making, you know, dime a dozen socks. Right? I think it just reveals where art has gotten to the point that it's, you know, whatever. But here's one thing that I do think is different. Art and socks are far from a similar experience, and that's the key, the experience. And that, unfortunately, has been so watered down to the point that, yeah, AI comes along and it fulfills the purpose just fine. Experience in terms of the individual, experience in terms of the art, experience in terms of the story, experience in terms of what you're actually looking at. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can we can have AI generated entertainment for the rest of the time, but oh my word, which individual, the craftsman, the audience, the watcher, the person actually interacting with the art, the experience of the art. It's been trivialized. What I'm saying is what you are experiencing now has been so trivialized already, even before AI. The AI comes along, it does what we've been doing for decades. That's what I was saying. So yeah, it's convenient, but man, convenience isn't always what it's cracked up to be. It'd be convenient to just drink Soylent all day. That's for sure. Following Kantian and Hegelian ideas of fine art. It shows. Certain art certainly has. And it's the nature of, you know, even commercialization to make it convenient, right? But it isn't remembered. At that point, what's the point? I mean, YouTube does that just fine. We have billions and billions of hours of content on YouTube. Just go for that. Before the 1700s, art as the concept didn't exist. Well, that's semantics at that point. And what is craft to you, last name? Because what I'm talking about is craft. Art, craft, it's the same thing. Experience. Whether it be a play or a movie or a book or whatever, right? This thing that is crafted by an individual to be handed off, right? AI cuts out that part of that process, and that now you are going to this thing for fulfillment. You're not experiencing something else. You're experiencing exactly what you're putting down, what you already know. Taking up knitting to make your own socks? That's not a bad idea. Shouldn't be categorized as a field in the first place. What does that have to do with anything? I think we're kind of losing the point. What's up, Kahuna? How you going? I mean, if you appreciate imagery that is born from what has already been and are willing to go through that cycle over and over and over and over and over again for the rest of your days, then hey, have at it. But I have no interest in that. Well, and I guess what I'm trying to say is if the tool is crap, if the tool ultimately is self-limiting, then, I mean, you can take the greatest carpenter in the world, chances are he's not going to be able to make a table out of a single piece of string and a rock, you know? a flat, river stone, right? So like I said, my hope is that good tools do come from this in the same way that we have good digital tools. But unfortunately, it's being, for now, pursued as overt convenience over anything else. Quality genuine for a slightly lower price. Well, among a myriad of other problems there, Bruner. But yes. Get the hop on the stream. I wouldn't argue that last name. I think it's very poor at what it does. Well, okay, if we're talking designed to conveniently make something that looks moderately okay so that you can sell you stuff, sure. It's pretty good at that. We're already seeing it used for that with the Wizards of the Coast and all that. But you said yourself, a poet isn't a playwright. An AI artist, or someone who uses AI, isn't an illustrator, isn't a painter. Isn't an animator. Ooh, hello, OBS. Don't die. Let's see here. That isn't quite right. I think I'm only gonna get like 2 panels done today. Oh well. Yeah. Hold on. It's gonna be more like. But it's the reason why, again, I'm not concerned. I don't see AI as being my replacement. I see it as the inevitable conclusion, taking crafts like illustration, animation, trivializing it to the point that, yeah, a machine can just spit it out, whatever you want. Yeah, up until the point that you've invested so much capital into something else, someone else's system, that you don't have any more money going around. Of course, that gets into economics, and that's above my pay grade, so. Frick, what in the world is going on here? Like, say, taking the immediate, convenient, cheaper option without realizing that it might undercut greater industry. Just saying. I already gave you the go-ahead with that, Kahuna. I have no problem with that. I'm really curious what you guys think. Because at the end of the day, I'm making this and I'm making this to see what happens, basically, right? So it's what it's there for. It's out to be seen. So I actually really appreciate the fact that you're interested in doing that. So go for it, man. Boy, I'm getting distracted by you guys. We're getting into some interesting conversation. I'm having a hard time focusing. Oh man. All good there, Kahuna. I look forward to what you guys have to say. Let's see. For your comic review show, I'll have to like send me a link to that, like direct, if you want. Also, I might shoot. I need to remember. I need to send you something later. Just as a quick like example. So I need to remember that. Hold on. So, furry first episode. Is it a stream or is it a or a whatchamacallit? An actual like review show thingy. Kind of funny that we were talking about art, now we're talking about socks. The cheek needs to be a little bit lower. What I'm saying, though, is that in theory, art can give you something a sock never can. But honestly, what this conversation is telling me is that might be a foreign concept to some. Maybe it is sometimes just seen as a convenient product. I don't like convenient art. I find it boring. First ever. Oh no, I don't wear socks around. Are you kidding me, man? Ugh. First chance I get, sure. I've yet to see it amplify anything good in my book. In theory, like I said, you know, doing grunt work, sure. Toss it its way. In-betweens, coloring, yeah. But anything that actually poses substance to a work, anything that requires thought, good luck. If there is something that requires intention, yeah, well, if we get that far, then it won't be your work. It will be the artistry of the computer. We're not going to get there until the computer starts deciding what it thinks is best. And I don't know if we want to go there. Peacefully disagree. Yeah. Ultimately, I encourage... the big thing that I encourage is whatever you do, be careful to write the intricacies of what other people do off as being something that can be, how do I want to put it? Formulated. Yeah, formulated, essentially. Become formula. Something that can be, what is it? Essentially, the way that I look at art, the way that I look at going out and finding something that someone did with their hands, right, whether it be digitally or otherwise, is I want to see something I don't expect. I want to see something different, basically, right? It's why I look at artwork from other cultures. It's why I look at artwork from different places. AI, as it stands, works against that inherently because it's pulling from what's already been done. It's the definition of trend hopping. It works off of trends, inbuilt trends, basically. Yeah, and well, as far as editing it, like at that point, like that's so much effort that again, you might as well just draw it. It is not so much effort in my book that you like. If you're a good enough artist to be able to take something and fix it, you're good enough to draw it, and you have more control at that point. Aristotelian. I'm not familiar with the Greeks. All I know is that they sat around and had way too much time on their hands to think. I have seen a little bit of philosophy that's come out from the older thinkers. This isn't right. Hold on. But can I make it right? Good now, Tell? All right, catch you later. I just sent off some concepts there, Kahuna. So it's early phases, but it'll be fun. It'll be nice and simple, and it'll be really fun. I may or may not also be working on someone else's potential little project. Actually, that's going to be a bit of a bigger project. That's going to be a bit of more work, so I'll have to think about how I want to go about that. A catharsis and drama, yeah. I can agree with that. Actually, I do agree with that. Don't make it a mystery only you can understand. Yes. I think art is meant to be understood. And perhaps that in lies the great tragedy of AI as it stands. Because who do you ask? What does this mean? Sure, you can give the prompt listing. But as far as the deeper intention, that's a little bit tougher. I think that if an artist were to approach AI with that intention, it would be a very, very, very frustrating experience. Because you're demanding something of a machine that can't think to handle your own thoughts. Cheapening the human experience. That's the way my brother puts it. Well, that's the point. So, well, see, and that's the point, is there needs to be intention within the art. But what you're telling me, see, but that's what I find kind of funny about your argument, is you see AI as being this avenue for that, but it strips intention. You can't tell what someone intended with AI art because it's been filtered. It's been removed in many regards. Even if you're like if you're going in and editing, then you're just laying your intention over it, sure. But you're fighting against the machine at every turn. So that's what I kind of find funny about that. I'm not talking about modern art there, bud. I don't give a crap about modern art. I mean, that's what I think perhaps where we're kind of getting confused is when I say art, I'm referring to something more general. I'm not referring to like some museum piece that looks like it was painted by a toddler with his fingers, right? Like see, I think we're closer in concept than perhaps we're realizing. I implore you though, try to create a piece of your intention with AI. See if you can do it. What you're going for, the emotion, the drama that you're going for, that you're trying to portray so people understand you. Give it a shot. See how close you can get. You might be able to do generic things like a dramatic scene of fighting or things like that, but you'll have a much harder time with more intricate things. And see, that's the falling short of a lot of modern art is they kind of hide away in ambiguity. To kind of protect themselves. That and modern art is a laundering scheme, but that goes without saying. Well, it can be intricate. It just has no intention. It can have all this detail, right? Like hyper rendering, right? But what does that serve, right? When Kentaro Miura puts his pen down, or when he put his pen down when he was alive, doing every little brick on a building, there was intention, right? To show the scene, to convince you of the scene, right? When Mobius works with minimalism, there's intention there, right? Gradients to showcase light, to reveal just alien landscapes, to take you somewhere else. There's intention there. That's what so often is missing, especially when the mentality is, well, I just want to go in and have what I want, right? Which is the problem where you get these people who are, bad, AI prompters and stuff like that. The irony is that I think anyone who actually is trying to make something of it, the truth will inevitably reveal it to themselves that, wait a minute, why am I using the computer in this fashion? Why don't I just draw it? Right? Which comes back to what I was talking about in that what you're fighting against when you're working digitally. As a digital artist, I know this. This is what I fight against every day. I am fighting tooth and nail to get back to intention. I have to be very careful not to let the machine take control. It's a battle, it's a fight. And this is any medium, actually, This isn't just digital mediums. This is any medium. Painting or oil paints or gouache or something like that. It's a battle. You're fighting something. You're crafting your tools so that you better control it, right? You're no longer a poor carpenter with just a rock and a piece of string. You have what you need, right? You give yourself what you need to be intentional. So, again, that's my hope for AI. But, unfortunately, the way people look at art... Oh my gosh. Okay, there's something wrong. Hold on. I gotta actually think this through. Hold on. I thought I'm making like the worst freaking panel of my life while I'm talking about this. She looks freaking dazed, like she got hit in the head or something. That's not what I'm going for. I need to redo those. I'll have to redo that. They're cut and paste. They look like a visual version of junk food. I completely agree with you. No, like, see, that's what I'm also saying is we turned art into an algorithm a long time ago. We're just being honest about it now. That's the unfortunate thing. That's what I want to get away from. But the problem is you're not gonna break that with a machine now doing the for you, right? Your eyes are not that far apart. What are we doing here? Really take another closer look at her eyes. Those narrow eyes. She looked tired and untrusting to you? Well, hold on. That's actually not bad. I think maybe, hold on, maybe I can just adjust a few things. I want her to be more like surprised, more like just in fear, right? Maybe the eyebrows, maybe. Like quivering. You want to talk about bad motor skills? My hands shake all the time. It's not a matter of motor skills, it's a matter of what do you want to do? How do you do it? Figuring it out. Are you motivated? If not, it's fine. I'm not motivated to pick up coding. But I know I could if I needed to, or wanted to. I think that's one of the biggest things that bothers me with the whole AI art thing. It's like, oh, now finally I can draw. It's like, one, no, you can't. Two, you could always learn. Everyone started with a pencil in their hand. Paper costs like 2 cents a sheet. Pencil, like a quarter.
Discover new music.
Where everyone starts.
exp.org.
Early XKCD days level skill. And look where he is now. You know him. I know him. Freaking everyone knows him. Because he made something intentional. All the rendering in the world can't help you in there. Okay, I think I'm mildly happy with that. Although this eye is a little small. That's fine. Just good hard most of the time. Yeah, that's the key. I would much rather look at someone struggle to draw who's taking me somewhere else than the person paint exquisitely the way I've seen 1,000 times before. Earnable ability that allows you to draw, and the artist is trying to explain it to years of practice. Yeah. It's not a gift. It's just patience. And if it is, I certainly didn't have it. I still don't have it. I'm actually gonna go because it's closer. I didn't go with that hair. I went with this hair. Actually, some dimension. There we go. Well, and that's the idea, right? Are you motivated? Do you have something you need to do with that, right? I did. That's why I picked up animation. I didn't pick up animation the same way others do. I didn't pick it up because I was inspired by what I saw. I picked it up because I was inspired by what I didn't see. I picked it up because there was things in my head that I knew could become something that I'd never seen anywhere else. I was unsatisfied with what I was seeing everywhere else. Every now and again I would catch a glimpse here and there, but it was still so freaking distant that I had to make something. That's my intention. I want to make something different. Thing is, though, I learned, even being a digital artist, the convenience of digital was just that. It was very convenient. It opened that door, but what I quickly realized was, wait a minute, I need to learn how to draw, regardless of my tone. How to be intentional. Especially with what I was pursuing. Exactly how you got into writing. Yeah, I think, yeah. Negatively motivated, sure. Well, and there you have it. Without ambition, what good is craft, I suppose? Well, there's just something really wrong with her face. Ah, 1 second. Well, I wasn't expecting this page to take this long, but at the same time, that option was always open. Actually gonna... Honestly, it's kind of sad. I still kind of feel the same way about animation in many ways. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now with animation, but none of it really sparks me. Rather, very little of it does. Every now and again, I'll find bits and pieces, but it can be challenging sometimes to find it. Doesn't mean it isn't worth anything. Stuff that's out there. This means I'm weird. Speaking of weird, this freaking face. Hold on, let me try something. Is the nose? The nose is touching. That's what I used to do. Well, not directly, but just watching people draw. Well, that was one of the big things that really demystified color for me. I watched a guy by the name of Michael Doig a lot when I was younger. Well, a few years. Still. And just watching his process really just unlocked things. Just seeing it. Definitely inspired my work. That's the key. Watch stuff. Try to understand it. I feel like I might be paddling up the wrong stream with this face. I just feel like there's something inherently flawed in it. Actually, hold on. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's give this another shot. I'm not even super happy with the eyes, but I'll keep it for now. Actually, I think I can make the eyes work. It's just the face. The face just looks really here? Or rounded. I think it's a number. I think that you're right, but it's because of the way the jaw's done that I'm having a hard. Okay, I need to actually. I'm gonna get rid of this shoulder because I think the shoulder's throwing me off, and I need to actually like figure out. And actually, the neck would be there. I think. This would come down. Point here. Let me go back and take a look at this head. Okay. Okay, I feel like I'm really close. Maybe push this up. Not quite this low. Hold on. Face isn't that long. Yeah. I probably will just wrap up once this panel's done, because one, it's getting late. Two, I don't know if I'm so much having an off day as I'm just like really distracted, which I don't mind, right? I stream for a reason, but I do think it is taking its toll. No. Her face isn't that narrow. Is the ear in the right spot? Man, hold on. Let me try shrinking the ear down. The ear's a little big. A little bit up. Okay, what is wrong with me? Why am I having so much trouble drawing her face all of a sudden? I've drawn her face like 15 billion times. Good grief. What am I... Eyes? Come on, internet. What is wrong? There's something wrong. And I'm like trying to find it. Oh, that kind of helped with that. Let me try this. Her chin isn't that big. It's more pointed. Hold on. Let me just check the other places of drawing her hair real quick. Yeah, no, that's what I'm noticing. Let me try it one more time here. Unfortunately, now I'm having to kind of draw backwards, which I don't like to do. But let me lay out the face this way. The ear is in the wrong place. 1 second. It's narrowing her face more than it should. See, that's where that is. The ear needs to be further back. The hair needs to be further back. Okay, hold on. I was drawing 2 angles. Not that far back, but about here-ish. Yeah. So now I can do, that's where the jaw is, the neck comes out here. Okay, gonna have to clean this up. Honestly, I think the greatest bane to this style is the lack of penciling. I should probably start doing more penciling, but whenever I start doing penciling, I like the line work, and I'm like, oh wait, why don't I just use the line work? I should do a little bit more, like, something a bit more solid, though. Boy, this panel is taking way too long. Hey, Windows with a passion. Yeah, well, tell me about it. That's not. It's not correct, is it? Either. It's closer, I think. Man, I cannot. It's correct. I may need to save this for tomorrow or something. I don't know. 'Cause that's not right. I've drawn her face like a billion freaking times from every conceivable freaking angle. I've animated this character in a short film, and I still, for whatever unfathomable freaking reason, don't know how to draw her. Maybe we don't have that much. Just put this there. I need something more subtle than that. I don't want her slack jaw. I want her like she can't control her mouth. Like it's Like she's almost panicking. Same for Android over iPhone. Yeah. Nah, yeah, same here. I like having control. And would she? Yeah, it would be hidden by. So let's see what this looks like now. Oh my word! That good grief. I think I was maybe a little bit distracted while I was working on this, so it set me up with a bad foundation I was fighting against. Okay, that's really stinking close to what I'm looking for. Just that, like, panicked look. Okay. It's a cult. What can you do? And to some degree, it's one of those things where, like, because I've known people who are, like, you know, not technologically inclined, right? So the big thing with Apple is it works until it doesn't, right? Well, to someone who can't fix a problem on PC regardless, on a PC regardless, it doesn't matter, right? Like that's irrelevant. So some people it works, right? What I hate more than anything, it's like it's bad. It's like whatever. If Apple's gonna do something stupid, then whatever. I don't care, right? It's when everyone else is like, hey, Apple did that. Why don't we do that? And it's like, no, please, for the love of all that's good, do not put the charging port on your mouse on the bottom of the freaking mouse. Yeah, you're not wrong, Bruno. Freaking swear. I'm not gonna say you're wrong, last name, but I don't want to be mean. Actually, her hair's a little bit longer, actually. It's a stream pal for introvert, yeah. Seems to be the only one with any innovation. Nothing a phone company. I feel like I've heard of him. Are they the ones who are doing like super minimalist with the phones designs and stuff like that? You know what I one of my favorite phones that I ever had was a BlackBerry Torch. I think it was awesome. And then before that, I had a BlackBerry Pearl. That thing was, oh my gosh, that thing rocked. I loved that thing because, like, all you would do, you would charge it once, like every 2 months, and it just lasted forever. It was tiny, this tiny little thing. Put it in your pocket, didn't have to worry about it. It was awesome, man. I loved that thing. I want a phone like that that can do kind of the smart stuff, but I don't need like a massive screen. I don't watch YouTube on my phone. I don't care, right? Like a decent sized screen would be nice, right? Just like big enough, but like nothing like, I don't need giant. Full keyboard, and basically like, basically my BlackBerry Torch. I want my BlackBerry Torch back, dang it. Just like maybe a, what the frick is going on here? Hold on. Really close. So I need to do the dude's hand. Mini phones. No, I haven't. Your headphones. Ah, no. Oh yeah, no, I freaking hate that last name. Like, it's super annoying. I have to look back and forth. So I have it on OBS and I have it on freaking just my YouTube display or whatever. And has it seriously taken me like an hour and a half to do this freaking panel? Oh my gosh. What the heck? It should not be taking me this long. I'm not even done. Whatever. I'm kind of taking it easy. I want to have this done by the end of this week, but like, I'll get there. Tomorrow I'm going to crank through the rest of this page, no matter what. That's why I try to make sure my headphones are always charged before stream, because, yeah, don't always remember. We'll handle that with color. It's Google, my guy. Like, what do you expect? Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Um, and I mean, he has big friggin' hands. Like this dude, like, he has big hands. You don't want him to grab you. This guy's stronger than he looks. He might be skinny. He's like unnaturally strong. Hauls up giant sandfish all day. Steers a boat through sand. You don't want to mess with this guy. Nice thing is I don't have to draw the fingers, really, so it's... Is that how broad his knuckles are? Sure, why not? Okay. Freaking YouTube. Play the doggone music. All right. Um. outfind. I feel like outfind would mean something else. Huh? An actual obsolete word. Well, to if I were to guess, outfind would mean to outfind meant find out. Really? Huh. In a modern context, it would probably mean like to locate something or someone more effectively than another. I don't know. Find out to discover. That's funny. Huh. Well, there you go. You can be archaic, I guess. What up, Lou? I don't believe I've seen you around. Good to have you. Is that Balbil, Lou, or is that Boobil? Oh, doggone it! Freaking can't listen to crap on YouTube, man. All right, it's a cool song too. Whatever. Let me know if the stream goes down. All right, I'm gonna need to do the line work on the arm here. Do the detail work on the face. Actually, because different. How I do this? Her face is actually covered in a white powder, kind of a chalk. She was handed that by this guy to protect her from the sun. That's what the blemishes are. His hand, on the other hand, actually, yeah, this would make more sense to actually have this go down lower and have it cross like that. Says it's still detecting audio, so let me know if the whole thing goes down. I'll see it. I shouldn't. I swear, if they take down Unfound, then it's gonna be freaking stupid. Actually, yeah. Okay, it's back to excellent connection. There we go. You know, that makes me wonder. Are the last words someone said so far so good? I imagine at some point in reality that was the last words someone said. Would be unfortunate. And look, Mom, no computer shouldn't care. Because he's not part of any record label or anything. I like his new stuff that's coming out, though. It's really nice. Has it only been about 140 billion? I thought it was higher than that. Estimations. I suppose that is a lot of people, though. Yeah, it makes sense, actually. Oh, come on. Let's see if it takes it down. Let's find out. Friggin' swear, man. They're definitely overcautious with streams. Do I do the veins in the eyes? I don't really. Yeah. I think I did it. Fill in the pupil. We're gonna do it, YouTube. I dare ya. Do it. And show me that it has no freaking impact on the VOD later. Yeah, I had my whole spiel about that a little bit ago. So I have no interest in Twitch anymore. They just, man, it's getting weirder and weirder, man. So I'd rather not be associated with all that. Come on, YouTube. Kill me now. Dare ya. I don't rely on you for my income. I don't give a crap. I've already been nuked by Ghibli. So I made it. Studio gibberish. Yeah, listening to the entire soundtrack of Arietti might not have been a good idea. But doggone, is that a good friggin' soundtrack, man. Let me tell you. That is probably my favorite film soundtrack. It is super good. Wish I could listen to it more. I find it really weird. So on the topic of Studio Ghibli music, for a long time, like every single art stream I went into was always playing like Studio Ghibli music. Every single time. Don't hear anyone doing that no more. Oh man, Firefighter. Is it Fire? I thought it was Firefighter Chronicles, but I think you're right. Fire Department Chronicles. Man, I love that guy's stuff. It's kind of funny. I didn't watch Phineas and Ferb growing up. I was a little. Let's see. That was like 2012, right? So yeah, I was a little bit past stuff like that. What year is it? Oh, first air date was 2007. So I would have been. Yeah, I could have watched it when I was younger, I suppose, but I wasn't really into cartoons when I was a kid. I mean, I was for like the first few seasons of SpongeBob, right? Watched that a lot, but then I didn't really watch anything. I wound up watching friggin' Homestar Runner all the time. That's what I went to. That was the cartoons I grew up when I was in middle school. Well, YouTube still hasn't taken me down. Guess I win. Your intro to Strong Bad is that episode where he kept laughing and then kept crying? Or Sponge? Oh, you're talking SpongeBob. Okay. I was gonna say, like, wait a minute, hold on. Are we talking about Strong Bad? I don't remember that. I think I know the episode you're talking about, though. Yeah, that was later. That was a later episode. And yeah, that one's kind of weird. Says around season 6 or 7. Well, Steven Hillenburg stepped down after the movie, after season 3. So yeah, that's a big part of it. Dude, I love Strong Bad, man. Strong Bad's great. It makes me happy that more people know about Strong Bad now. Honestly, like, that stuff is great. That stuff is golden, man. Alright, we got 2 panels done in like 3 hours. Holy freaking crap, I did terrible today. What time? It's like 9. I can't keep going. I gotta eat dinner. We'll have this to look forward to tomorrow. This is gonna be a lot. This panel's gonna be a lot of work. This alone is probably gonna take an hour and a half. Let's see. This is gonna be tricky. Oh gosh, yeah, that's gonna be tricky. This is not gonna be bad. This is actually gonna be straightforward. Chat was chatty tonight. I don't mind though. I don't mind because it helps me just take it easy. At the end of the day, I haven't eaten dinner. No, I don't eat dinner until 8. I have lunch late. I have dinner late. I have it all late. All right. Anyway, I'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully on the next page. We'll see. This page should be a lot easier because a lot of the work for this page is going to be in color. This is going to be a little bit tricky. I might actually redo this a little bit. Well, actually, no, I can't. I'll have to rework a touch. This is going to be a challenge because her crying, that's a lot of emotion. Had dinner about 6 hours ago. Yeah, sounds about right. I'm on a weird schedule. I'm always on a weird schedule. And then this last panel should be fairly straightforward. But I am looking forward to doing this, especially in the color phase, because there's gotta be some fun stuff I do with it. We're making progress, though. We are making progress. We're getting through it. And actually, I do like how these panels came out. This one eventually kind of came together and came pretty good. Using an extra bit of hatching to make it a bit more dramatic. I'll have to figure out how the color's going to work, because this is actually at night, so that's going to be interesting. Anyway, what about second breakfast? I barely have a first breakfast. All right. Anyway, I'll be back on Thursday. I'm gonna go. I don't know how I'm gonna do the dialogue yet. I'll figure that out. Anyway,
So what's blast processing do?
anything else to go over? Have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever the heck you are in this wide world of ours. Appreciate art. Appreciate your experiences. Appreciate life, I guess. I don't know. Friggin' go do great things. I'm gonna go eat ramen. I gotta make ramen. I got some chicken with my name on it in my freezer. So, all right, catch y'all later. Goodbye. Back on Thursday, usual time, all that kind of stuff. See ya.